I'd like to call to order the Utility Service Board for the City of Lawrence on this, the 10th day of March 2020. We have 4 of our 5 members present, so we do have a quorum. And we will begin by approval of the minutes. Entertain a motion that we approve the minutes which were sent out to you for review of our February 25th meeting.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay. That's unanimously approved. The claims were sent out to you for review by email. I would entertain a motion that we approve the claims.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That's unanimously approved. Report of our utility superintendent.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just get right into it. We have several things on the agenda tonight. The first would be the approval of the miscellaneous service agreement for hydrogeologic consulting services with Peerless Midwest. So what that's all about is if you recall, we just recently had them do a study in the Fort Wellfield, because that is an area we're going to have to look at in the very near future about putting some additional well sources in there for our water production. So having them revisit the earlier studies and to take a fresh look at things, we're going to have some conversation with DNR coming up real soon, and we want them to be a part of that and prepare exhibits and stuff like that. So this professional services agreement is to have them on board for us as a consultant when we go to start having those conversations. So then we also have SRF number 87 for Westler for $438. That's just wrapping up loose ends on the last bits of our phase 1 water system improvements with SRF. And then the big items are the obviously the change orders 1, 2, and 3 on the Franklin Road water main project. So the first part of that is just it adds some additional days, so it doesn't really change the price of the project. The other 2, if you remember 1 or 2, maybe 3 meetings ago, we mentioned having found some stuff in the ground there, some old storm sewers and old clay pipes that nobody knew were in the ground and all that, and that we would be coming back to you with change orders for the work that was required to address those, and that's what these are. So I will just, our recommendation is to approve those, obviously, and I will say that Midwest Mole has been very good at working with us to keep these costs down. So they've been very good about keeping the price down on the change orders. Then I do want to add, we have encountered a situation on the 47th Street project, so it's not actually on the agenda right now, but I'm going to throw it in there. Because we need to get we're in the last stages of that project too, and we're in the part now where we're redoing service lines and putting meter pits in. We have one that needs to be installed with a hydro excavator, which was not in the cost for the hydro excavator was not in the original unit price list. So they're looking for a change order. That's going to be about $2,092 on that project. But I mean, we need to get the work done so we can keep the project moving towards completion. They're working on the service lines and pits this week, so we'd like to go ahead and get a verbal approval to authorize them to go ahead and do that work, and then the change order paperwork will come at the next meeting.
Okay. All right. Are there questions?
Yeah, but the only thing I was going to say, Scott, you already know how much it's going to cost. This change order that's not even on the agenda yet, but it's going to.
Right, it's $2,092 and some change.
Okay, so you just got that figure in two.
That came from our inspector out in the field and the project engineer working with the contractor.
Okay. don't see, about the only other thing I was looking at, I like the fact that we didn't have to, on that change order number 1, there was no additional cost.
Yeah, that's just adding some days because of the weather and other delays, such as finding all that stuff that nobody knew was in the ground.
Right. So that's not gonna really cause any problems by the additional.
No. We actually had hoped to, have everything wrapped up by the end of this week and get the road open back up, but it looks like that might push back one more week, unfortunately. But it is a construction project, so we expect those things, although we hope to not have them, but sometimes it happens. But if they will do everything they can to accelerate that, getting that road back open. They want to be out of there just as much as we want them out of there.
So this is a side question. There's the 47th Street issue, the Richard. Will they all kind of seal up together, or it's going to be?
Well, I think Franklin Road will finish first because 47th Street water main project, they'll still have to get through all the yard restoration, then the final road restoration part of that. But as far as the physical work of the new pipes and services and meters and that kind of stuff.
No, just traffic.
Oh, traffic?
Yes.
Well, it'll improve once we get Franklin Road open, I guarantee you, which as you well know. But yeah, that's probably going to be at least another week out, longer than we thought. And of course, we've also got the drainage project, which has started in earnest now. So that's having some impact on 48th Street between Richard and Michener, as well as also continuing on Richard. But it's inconvenient now, but when it's all said and done, these improvements, I think people will appreciate the fact that they've got new infrastructure. It's going to be a process. That's all I had.
Okay. Anything further?
I do kind of want to know a little bit about the customer that was on the news a few different times. Was there anything more to say?
Oh, about the
Bill.
The bill. So ended up having to do actually a couple of news spots, but essentially what that boils down to is we adjusted our meter reading date in December. We pushed that back a week because of the conflict with the holidays. So we typically try to read, a full 30 days, roughly. It does vary from cycle to cycle, but basically we're trying to read 4 weeks. Well, this time you take that 8-week span, and instead of 4 and 4, it basically billed as a 3-week span followed by a 5-week span. And that's when everybody, wow, what's going on? Of course, we heard numerous complaints, calls about, the 5-week bill. We actually heard nothing about, well, why is my bill so low this month? We can get those calls. But you have also, the rate increase did hit January 1 of 2020. That's the third and final phase of the water rate increase. So any consumption that was after January 1, 2020 would have billed at the new rate. And of course, again, people in the holiday season, you have guests, visitors, you're staying home more, you use more water. So there was nothing nefarious that we were doing at the utility other than we had to adjust that reading date. Now, going forward, and we've already looked into this, we don't anticipate any more changes in the meter reading dates for the remainder of 2020 and moving forward. That will be on our radar so that if we see an incident coming up like that again, we will have ample time to get the word out to our customers via the Lawrence Lift.
Did the customer feel comfortable with the explanation, and do they understand what happened now? I don't know.
I guess I don't know. I didn't actually speak directly I spoke to the news, but I don't recall having any direct contact with the customer.
Well, I didn't really mean it that way. I just meant whomever had conversation. Did you feel that they were okay with the explanation? That's all. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had any comments or anything this week, and actually for the past several days.
So Scott, Am I accurate in repeating what I thought I heard? Somebody reported that the increase in the monthly water bill was average about $5.10 increase, or am I?
So what we looked at is if you take average 5,000 gallon user, their bill just with the rate increase alone would have increased by $5 and I think 14 cents or something like that.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the individual who had,
I believe there was one customer who was on the social media thing, and you know, he was their concern wasn't necessarily the amount of the bill, but he said, you know, we did something to increase his usage, but there is nothing we can do to do that. I mean, we can't adjust the meter reading; it reads what it reads. But when we went and checked his meter, we did find he had a leak, right?
okay.
So, and he's been notified of that too, that he needs to check on that.
So the kind of the extreme case that they showed on the news report, which was like $150 monthly bill, that individual had a leak, as I understood.
I believe that's the same guy, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I think that in light of the history of the water bill, the water utility in Lawrence, that anything that we can be proactive as far as any changes that we anticipate, we would do ourselves good to make them aware that there are something that's not going to be what they've been used to.
Right. And that gets back to, you know, I mean, that's in our standard operating procedure now. Moving forward, we will be looking for holiday conflicts and making sure we get the word out well in advance.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Unfinished business, I don't believe we have any. Under new business, item number 1, and Scott mentioned this, approval of miscellaneous service agreement for 2020 for professional hydrologic consultant services with Peerless Midwest, Inc., not to exceed $5,200. I would entertain a motion that we approve that.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That's unanimously approved. Item number 2, approval of SRF disbursement form number 87 to Wessler Engineering for $438. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just wanted to just say this for clarification. That $438 is that's just part of the approved contract that we have with them anyway.
Right.
It's not anything out of the ordinary.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they heard you.
Are we correct in that assumption that the $438 that is being asked for here is just part of the contract that we have with Wessler?
Yeah, these are charges under the Phase 1 engineering services for our Phase 1 water system improvements projects.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this is, we're in the final stages. They're doing things like checking as-built drawings and, you know, just the final tying up of loose ends on all those projects. So we're getting little, you know, the last few invoices we've had from Wessler, if you notice, they've been, you know, less than $500. So we're about ready to wrap all that up.
So that's not additional, that's not a change order or anything, that's just
Right, it's
part
part of the original engineering cost.
Okay, right. That's what I want you to know. Thank you.
Anything further?
No.
Not all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That is unanimously approved. Item number 3, approval of Midwest Mole change order number 1 for the Franklin Road Water Main Relocation Project to extend project schedule to all for full closure of road. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That is approved. Item number 4, approval of Midwest Mole change order number 2 for the Franklin Road water main relocation project to increase the project by $9,200 to repair existing 15-inch storm sewer. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion regarding that item? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That is unanimously approved. Item number 5, approval of Midwest Mole change order number 3 for the Franklin Road water main relocation project to increase the project by $1,855 to replace broken 4-inch clay storm tile and connect to existing reinforced concrete pipe storm sewer. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion regarding that item?
I don't know.
All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That's unanimously approved. Then item number 6, which is not on the agenda, is the $2,092 that was requested for a change order, which we will receive.
Right, at the next meeting. Right now, we're just seeking approval to tell the contractor to go ahead and get that work done so he can keep on schedule to get that project wrapped up. But it's $2,092.58.
Okay, so entertain a motion that we approve the $2,092.58.
That's the 47th Street water main project.
Okay. Any discussion? Not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That is unanimously approved. Account adjustments. 10515 Hermosa Drive, requesting a sanitary sewer adjustment in the amount of $475.68 due to a water backup sump pump leak.
Correct. We do recommend approval.
Entertain a motion that we approve that.
Question, why would a sump pump,
It's the water backup. There's water backup sump pumps so that they're water forced and they sometimes get stuck and they just constantly flow water into the storm.
That's when it fails, I guess, it's maybe battery operated or something like that.
Correct. A lot of people are taking those out and putting in battery backup sump pumps. So we've actually had quite a few of those this year.
But this is water that went through,
It did not go
Our
in our
water.
sewer. Correct. It went in the storm sewer.
I'm just kind of curious, why would a sump pump have anything to do with water, though? Or our water, anyway, I'd be water coming into the foundation.
These are a kind of sump pump that are powered by water flow. So when your main regular sump pump fails, this thing will come on, but it has to use water to actually operate. And so what happens is when these things fail, they call for water and then they keep using it. So kind of a nifty idea, but not.
Economical.
okay. Entertain a motion that we approve this. Been moved and seconded.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those nay. That is unanimously approved. 7822 East 46th Street, requesting a sanitary sewer adjustment in the amount of $335.89 due to a service line leak. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That is unanimously approved. 6564 Oaklandon Road, requesting a sanitary sewer adjustment in the amount of $293.44 due to a service line leak. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay, that is unanimously approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Remonstration of ratepayer dispute regarding disconnect notice. We do not have any this evening. Citizens' comments, I do not see any. Entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
No, I
Those
was
nay.
wondering.
We are adjourned.